On NFL Daily, how many touches for Le'Veon Bell in 2019? He just got paid. Well, now he's got to earn those bucks. 49ers likely drafting Nick Bosa. That is if he falls to them at pick number 2. And then are the Broncos taking a quarterback in round 1? Could it be Drew Lock? Could it be Dwayne Haskins? Could it be Kyler Murray? All coming up on NFL Daily.
Hello friends, I'm Tom Downey along with Mitchell Renz here for NFL Daily presented by BetDSI. Mitch, how are you this evening?
Very, very
Nobody
good, Tom.
cares. Moving on to some NFL rumors and news.
All right, Tom, screw you. Gronk is unretiring, and the heck after that intro, maybe I'm going to retire from chat sports.
Producer Brett did not know that was coming
So
either.
Sunday, Gronk announced that he's going to retire from the NFL, and we know that Gronk's been kind of banged up. He played in 9 seasons with the Patriots. Here's the thing, though, Tom. His agent came out and said that he wouldn't be surprised. He wouldn't be surprised if Gronk were to return. And I think it's funny because he goes on to say basically like, hey, if the Patriots need Rob Gronkowski at the end of the season or at some point in the playoffs, Rob would consider coming back. Blows my mind.
I mean, I could see it.
I mean, it would be such a Patriot
Witten spent a year away from the NFL doing bad on ESPN and came back and broke the Cowboys.
Gronk, there is nobody that could be
play
worse
with the WWE
than Jason Witten on ESPN. That was terrible. I would love to see Gronk on
What about the Boom Goes the Dynamite guy?
Yeah, well, there's a reason why I don't even know who that is.
See? Okay. I mean, really?
I've seen the video,
so
but what's his name?
uncultured.
Nobody knows. Here's
Very
the
good
exact quote from Gronk, okay? It all started at 20 years old on stage at the NFL Draft when my dream came true, and now here I am about to turn 30 in a few months with a decision I feel is the biggest of my life so far. I will be retiring from the game of football today. Rob, I know you said it on Sunday, but your agent's saying something else. When I look at your career, man, it's pretty special. 521 receptions, 7,861 yards, 15.1 yards per catch, 79 touchdowns. Tom, Gronk has played in 115 games and has scored 79 touchdowns. You know what that means? That is .69 touchdowns per game for Rob Gronkowski. And damn it, whoever tackled him, he needed 3 more yards to have 69 yards per game for an entire year. As you can tell, I'm upset. But if you like Gronk, and I know everyone does,
yeah.
Type 69 in the comments section. You know what, Tom? I'm going to go on YouTube.
YouTube's going to get real confused.
And I'm going to type in 69.
69 over
because
and over
I
again.
love him. And I see Lazarus, whatever, says F Gronk. You know what? How do you not like Gronk? I don't even get it. Gronk is one of the most fun people. At the end of the day, he made the NFL fun again. I better see a lot of 69s.
Instead of press F to pay respect, we're pressing 69 to pay respect.
If you want to see a picture of Tom at 69,
stop it. I know I set you up for earlier jokes when I said no one cares to open up the show. But let's talk more about tight ends here, namely Jared Cook. Now, he did choose the Saints over the Patriots, although technically speaking, he hasn't signed his contract yet. He could go change his mind, but all indications he said is that, I'm going to stick with my initial decision and have loyalty here to New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, according to several reports, the Patriots apparently really, really aggressively pursued Jared Cook. But if I'm Jared Cook, I'm going to look at both teams, I'm going to look at both situations, and at the end of the day, I'm going to say, all right, who can probably pay me more money? I'm actually kind of surprised that maybe the Saints are willing to offer him a little bit more. And I mean, I think when I look at Jared, what he did last year for the Raiders, he had a good year. He led the team with 896 receiving yards, led the team in touchdowns with 6, led the team in targets, like receptions. He was really good. But by Jared Cook not going to the Patriots, if you're under 18, you may not want to look at this because this is a really warning. Do not look at the Patriots depth chart because it's ugly. Izzo, Lacoste, Hollister,
Matt Lacoste.
Ralph Lauren? I mean, who else is going to be there, Tom? I'm not sure.
Matt Lacoste wasn't good enough for Denver. I liked Ryan Izzo coming out last year, but he spent the entire year on IR out of Florida State. He's a good blocker. So, here's the good news. It's a fantastic draft class for tight ends.
I'm just saying, combined.
We got one rule. If you're a Patriots fan, you want this. If you're not, you don't want it. Getting an Iowa tight end.
Yeah, I mean, I know how much you love
Can't let it happen,
Hockenson.
guys. Can't let it happen.
I'm a little bit worried if Mary Kate knows your love for Iowa tight ends or Teddy Bridgewater. That's all I'm saying. But the Patriots need to get a tight end because combined, 71 catches, 3 touchdowns. That's basically a walk in the park for Rob Gronkowski, which I don't even know if he can walk in the park anymore. But here's the thing. Jared Cook is choosing the Saints over the Patriots. Who's going to have more wins in 2019? We want to know from everybody watching. Type S for Saints, type P for Patriots. Tom, I'm putting you on the spot. More wins in 2019, Patriots or Saints?
Give me the Patriots.
Patriots?
2 guaranteed win against the Dolphins because they're going to be awful next year and they're not trying to win.
Okay.
And they'll win at least 3 or 4 against the Bills.
So you say that, and yet every year the Dolphins are the one team in the AFC East that play them tough.
But not this year.
All I'm saying is...
Unless it's like, we haven't had the official NFL schedule yet, but unless it's something weird like where they go to Miami week 17 because they always have issues there and they've already locked up the AFC.
Well, I'm going to type my ass, Tom. And you know why I asked you this question? Because I've already put money down on BetDSI that the Saints and the Patriots are going to play in the Super Bowl. And if it happens, your boy's going to be making some money. You guys can
good
too.
odds there, yeah.
Chatsports.com/bet, 120% deposit bonus. Tom, I wish I had as much deposit bonus as you, but for some reason BetDSI just likes you more than me, I guess.
That's because I win my bets, Mitch. I win my bets on BetDSI. You had to go to that bonus money quickly.
Yeah,
Which provides you a little bit of leeway there. So if you put down 50, they're going to give you 60 for free. That way, when you waste your money on weird bets, you're still okay.
You can waste your money on a lot of other weird things, Tom. BetDSI, not one of them.
Very
You know what else you can waste your money on? Touches. Yeah, just kidding. Le'Veon Bell to get 400 touches, apparently. I'm looking at this. The dude paid. I mean, he got paid. And Adam Gase told NFL Network's Kim Jones over the weekend that he is going to do everything he possibly can to get the ball into Le'Veon Bell's hands. And when I look to see what Le'Veon has done in the past, and when I look at Adam Gase's crazy eyes, I see in those crazy eyes him getting Le'Veon Bell close to 400 touches. Now, he goes on to kind of say, like, Le'Veon can catch the ball, he can run between the tackles, he can do everything, which I think you and I both agree. When you look at his numbers the last 4 years, don't look at 2018, it's not pretty.
It didn't happen.
Exactly, especially for all those fantasy owners. If you listen to some guy named Mitchell Renz who said draft Le'Veon Bell first overall in fantasy drafts, probably should unfollow him.
Or if you did draft him.
Here's the thing, though. I get Le'Veon super talented, but if Adam Gase is saying, hey, I want to replicate what he did in Pittsburgh, last season he had over 406 touches. I seriously could see Le'Veon Bell getting 400 touches his first year.
I wouldn't be that surprised. The way the deal is structured, they can get out of it after 2 seasons.
Yep.
With limited dead cap hit. Maybe you just feed him for 2 years and see how he's doing entering year 3.
Speaking of feeding, Tom, I think your favorite running back, or you would say the best running back in the NFL, is Ezekiel Elliott, and I think you're contractually, oh my God, how do you say? Contractually? Oh,
there
wow.
you go. Got it that time.
Guys, I'm not even drunk. I think you would be obligated to say that Zeke is the best. But if you weren't, who is the best running back?
Zeke, given Todd Gurley's injury problems right now.
All right. Don't listen to Tom. We want to know from everybody in the comments section, who's the best running back in the NFL? I'm probably also going to go Zeke.
Okay, so all that hype, like, oh yeah, don't listen to Tom. He's being Homer, and then you just pick.
I think you could look at Le'Veon Bell's an option. Todd Gurley when healthy is an option. Zeke, and then Saquon Barkley.
Zeke has the fewest question marks around him right now. Offensive line is good. Quarterback play is far more steady, and there are no injury problems. Obviously, the Rams have the offensive line quarterback play. Gurley's been banged up. We don't know how Lev Bell is going to look next year. David Johnson's got all kind of offensive issues around him. So too does Saquon Barkley.
I mean, I'm looking at a bunch of these. Pulse Livid says Todd Gurley. Ruben says Zeke. Patriot
Chris
God says
Warren.
Barkley. Chris Warren, you're probably a loyal subscriber to the Raiders Report. YouTube.com/Raiders Report. Much appreciated to you there, my man. All right, let's roll on to this next rumor here. It's around the 49ers, and it's around Nick Bosa. If you live under a rock, you might not know that the 49ers have the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. So Nick Bosa had lunch with John Lynch and Adam Peters, and now early reports are that Bosa is the early favorite to land with the 49ers. Tom, you are our draft expert. Thoughts on this?
Look, if he's there, he's the pick.
Okay.
Like, you're not going to for the way the Niners roster is constructed right now, where you have DeForest Buckner, you have Solomon Thomas, you technically have Eric Armstead at least for now. I don't know why you would target, even though I love Quinnen Williams if he's there too. You would much rather have Nick Bosa, because if you take Quinnen Williams, are you going to keep trying to play Solomon Thomas on the edge on passing downs? That hasn't really worked out so far. Now, if you're out on Solomon Thomas and you're out on Eric Armstead long term, I think it's too early to be out on Solomon Thomas. Then it makes some sense there. But if you're the 49ers, doesn't it make more sense to bring in Nick Bosa, let him play defensive end, kick Solomon Thomas inside at least for passing downs, bump Eric Armstead down, or trade him potentially? Now you've got a front 4 of D Ford, Buckner, Thomas, and Bosa. With Thomas on the inside, with the way the roster's set up, given that Bosa and Quinnen are close, I think it makes a lot more sense to take that edge rusher there.
Okay.
Even with D Ford in play, which before the D Ford trade, I think it was very clearly Bosa.
Yep.
But even with D Ford, take the extra edge guy.
I mean, I think that was their biggest need, and I still think it's a bigger need. Now, I know how much you love Quinnen. He's your number one player on your big board. But you think Nick Bosa fits a better need than Quinnen Williams, even though you have Quinnen Williams ranked higher than Nick Bosa?
Yes, I do think so.
Sounds
Just
good
the
to me.
way you build a roster, the roster construction is very important there.
I mean, I could agree with that. I mean, when I look at my favorite players in this year's draft, I'm looking at Josh Allen, I'm looking at Quinnen Williams, and I'm looking at Nick Bosa. Those are my top 3 players. And one of the cool things that we do here, though, Tom, show's not about us. It's about all of our loyal watchers. So, who is the best player in the draft, right? So, on Tom's big board, it's Quinnen Williams, defensive tackle out of Alabama.
Very closely followed by Nick Bosa, and then a little bit further down, Josh Allen, and then a bit of a drop-off.
See, I like Josh Allen. I'm starting to really, really fall in love with Josh Allen, not the guy from Buffalo.
Really good.
He is really good, but I
Really
like his
good.
upside. I think he's a learner. I think he's going to be able to continue to grow, and I'm a little bit nervous with Bosa and his injuries, and I don't know. The more I'm looking at it, I've talked to a doctor, and man, I don't know. People are talking, Tom.
He'll be fine. I'm not overly concerned about the injuries for Nick Bosa. It's a little bit of a differentiator between Quinnen and Bosa for me, but Bosa's still number 2. It's not like I'm panicking about him.
Joseph agrees with you. Casey says Josh Allen. Lezer says Kyler Murray. Chase Harrington says Drew Lock. You, sir, are drunk. Robert Quinn trade is the next rumor we're going to talk about, and is Quinn visiting the Saints today. And I think it's funny because the Dolphins, which you kind of hinted at earlier, they're just going to go in full tank mode. They're trying to just build extra draft capital. I think they're going to tank in 2019 and really have their eyes set on 2020. Here's the thing, though, Tom. You're the reporter here for the Cowboys. Cowboys also met with Robert Quinn. And I think that they're also interested in Robert Quinn because there's still some question marks around tank.
It's not even about tank. They need someone else to help tank.
But that's what I mean. I'm just saying, like, Robert Quinn, I think, is a good player. But kind of, I'll be honest, Tom. Had no idea he was even on the Dolphins. I feel like he just got lost.
Well, he wasn't the prime guy he was with LA when he had like 18 sacks that one year. But if you can guarantee as a player you're going to get 5 or 6 sacks each year, even with injury problems, that's really good in the NFL.
I agree.
Now, it's not like number 1 overall pick, or it's not first or second round pick, but a future mid to late round pick, which I think is what the Dolphins are asking for right now with Quinn. That's reasonable.
Okay.
Like, if you spend a 5th round pick on a defensive end, you're probably not going to get 5 sacks from him at any point in his career, let alone the next 2 years. So from that perspective, for a team that's in win now mode, like the Cowboys or like the Saints are, Quinn makes a lot of sense. Now, I do think that the reason this trade hasn't gone down yet as it relates to the Cowboys with Quinn is that I think that, at least originally, the Cowboys were the only team bidding with them. Because there was the leak out of Miami, oh yeah, Quinn's going to go to the Saints to visit, and then he doesn't go to the Saints for 5 days later. So I think at some level, the Cowboys are the only team involved in actual legitimate trade talks for what the what the Dolphins want. But if they get anything back for a guy they're probably going to cut if they can't get a trade done, that's a win in the end there.
Okay, my man.
So that's kind of the key thing as relates for Robert Quinn, the Saints, and the Cowboys. But the Saints could use some more edge rush help there. Maybe less so than the Cowboys. At least they have Cam Jordan and Marcus Davenport, but they did lose Alex Okafor too.
Well, Tom, this is one of the best times of the year because it's around March Madness, and my bracket has just been absolutely busted. I'm doing terrible. But we want to know from everybody watching, okay, who will win the NCAA tournament? Did you go for Duke?
Yeah.
We want to know from you if you could go from Tennessee, LSU, Kentucky. Who will win the NCAA tournament? Tom, who did you pick?
I went with Duke because it's Duke. Like it's lame to pick Duke, I know, because no one wants to cheer for Duke, but picking Duke was the obvious decision there in the end, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I thought it was a very, very clear choice, Mitch. That's just me.
Yeah.
It's Duke.
Yeah, I mean, I love some Zion. I love all these other players. I mean, I like R.J. Barrett. He's one of the better players. I'm going to roll through the comments here, see who some of you guys have. Berkeley Wiley's saying UVA. Ruben's saying Duke. Ten King is saying Oklahoma.
Ooh,
interesting.
Who picked UC Irvine?
Gucci
Crazy
Boy
person.
is going with UNC. Okay. Duke is from Davian. It's all good. And then also, I asked this question earlier today, and who do we have? We have Matthew Werner saying, I have Michigan. Interesting. That'd probably make James very, very happy. Towner Perry says Tennessee. And then Chris Longley from Texas here, he's saying Kentucky.
Well, let's see what happens with P.J. Washington there. How about
Okay.
that? If he actually plays, maybe, but without him, you kind of saw they had some issues against Wofford. Wofford's not the best team out there. Now, today's show is also brought to you guys by My TV Choice. If you're tired of commercials during sports games, go download the My TV Choice app. Instead of commercials, you'll get awesome sports content like some from us, Mitchell, from Chat Sports. That's mytvchoice.com.
You guys want to watch, I don't know, if you want stats on the NCAA tournament? We got you. You want stats on NFL? It's a lot better than watching, I don't know, what was the awful commercial? Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Nobody wants to see that. ShamWow, get out of here.
Yeah, any commercial. mytvchoice.com. Go download it today, folks. So